people what I do for a living is always interesting. People are always either grossed out because people tend to not be big fans of ticks, or they're incredibly interested. I've always just found insects fascinating, their adaptations to the environment, especially arachnids. I've always been interested in spiders, and ticks are in that same realm.
This project that Victoria developed was essentially a brainchild of hers. She documented for the first time several ticks that are present in Illinois.
I worked on a project looking at Cytoxone Phillips, which is a bobcat parasite transmitted by ticks, which is what brought me into the tick realm. And then I subsequently asked Dr. Jimenez if I could do a master's in his lab, and he suggested doing a tick surveillance project of Southern Illinois. The issue in Illinois was we had a severe lack of tick species distribution records.
Our region was neglected for a long period of time in terms of basic research.
We don't really know what ticks we have and where they are, which is of course an issue because ticks transmit disease, and if we don't know what species we have, we don't know what diseases we have, and we don't know what the public is at risk of contracting. So what you're expecting to find in Southern Illinois is you have the dog tick, Dermacentor variabilis, which is expected to be in every county, and the Lone Star tick, Amblyomma americanum, is also expected to be in every county.
There are others, including Ixodes scapularis, the black-leg tick, which is present even in these vicinities.
And then in a 2013 survey, which Elliot Jimenez did,
who is currently a professor in Eastern Illinois University.
He discovered, was it 12 Gulf Coast ticks in his survey, but they weren't actually reported. So he found them in 3 different counties. And so when I started my project, we noticed that, and so I made sure to survey those areas where he'd found the Gulf Coast tick. I ended up finding it at this weird little dump site in Harrisburg that's basically off the side of a highway where people dump fish and trash and everything. But yeah, that was the gist. So we had an idea that it was around, we just didn't realize we had established populations.
The presence and documentation of this particular species was referred and described in a publication, in a scientific publication, and was immediately communicated to health officers. Our research seldom helps people directly. Well, in this case, it will make an impact on people of Southern Illinois and Southern Indiana, for sure.
People are aware that ticks are a public health threat, but they don't really think about what we actually have around us, what species we have, what diseases they're actually at risk of contracting. Tick-borne diseases account for 95% of all vector-borne diseases reported in the United States. So ticks are far more important in terms of the number of disease cases than organisms like mosquitoes. Because disease prevalence in ticks tends to be between 1% and 2%, that you can get ticks on you and you'll be fine most of the time. But if you have that instance where you do get a disease, for Lyme for instance, and then you end up having chronic symptoms, that affects you for the rest of your life.
Look at this. Just the architecture of their exoskeleton is a wonder. Is a wonder of biology. These organisms are endowed with a very watertight exoskeleton that protects them against almost everything. UV radiation prevents them like some immediate freezing. The organisms are going to be amazingly resistant.
Documentation of the Gulf Coast tick in a new state is groundbreaking. We knew that we had the Lone Star tick here, we knew that we had the American dog tick here, we knew that we maybe had a Gulf Coast tick here and there, but documenting its establishment in a new county and being able to present that information to the Department of Public Health, being able to present that information to the general public, and being the first one to do so is exciting. Being a first is always a thrilling experience. I have always been a bug person. My parents always tell me that they are not surprised how I ended up in the realm of ticks, because I was that kid running around in the schoolyard with my magnifying glass, with my bug net, collecting bugs, taking spiders to school and getting in trouble by teachers and grossing people out with like weird little worms. That was me. So this research has actually taken me on an amazing journey. I never thought I would end up in the field of ticks, or that could actually be a career path.
And she also kind of like landed a job in the Illinois Natural History Survey.
I have been working there since May, and I now work for the statewide tick surveillance project. And so this is my job now. I get to go out in the woods, collect ticks, test them for diseases, report what we find, inform the public, and it's so much fun.